ever emergency broadcast. Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing severe weather alert. I repeat, severe weather alert. Cloudy, taking place of the brief sunshine that peeked out to try to heat the lower atmosphere and get it destabilized and make it very unstable, with warm, moist air at the surface and a cold front moving through with cold upper levels, and then get that nice mixing with warm air at the surface, cold upper levels, high up into the stratosphere. It makes for great thunderstorm building and supercells, but we have clouds back in here now, and the heat's really not generated here. If we take a quick look at our radar, before I update you on Matic, on a subscriber update from yesterday, it actually broke out to the least probability and broke very bullish, but it has no volume. So if you're in there, now would be a great time to sell and wait for it to crash, and then like you wanted to do, buy it back when it gets cheap. But you can see the severe weather out west, out in the Missouri, even farther west in the northern Oklahoma, southern and southeastern Nebraska, and central and eastern Missouri, and now just about to knock on the door into the Springfield area. Wish I could draw on here, but if I had to guess, I'm right here right now. You see that? But I live way, way over there-ish, north of Detroit. I would say down here where there's no cloud covered. Let's look at the clouds. Do they show clouds on here? Yeah, clouds. Let's see if it loads up good. Yeah, it's not very good. It's hard to see the clouds, but you can see them up here. It's very, very hard to see it, but I'm all clouds. But down here in the south and southern parts of the central Illinois and the southeastern parts, like we discussed earlier, you got open skies, max heating of the day. Temperatures are pushing 80 now when I'm stuck here in the upper 60s because of clouds. You got the lower atmosphere and ground level, the 2 meter, where they take the 2 meter temperatures where the people live. The ground's heating up and getting very unstable with heat building at the surface. And then you have a strong cold front. We're going to put the cold front map. I remember they have that temperature. No, we don't want temperatures. Warnings. Where's the fronts? Fronts. Bam. See the front? So remember that cold front I was talking about that dropped through this morning? There it is. I had that northeast wind, so that told me that I had some kind of stalled out front. But southern parts and southeastern parts of Illinois, you can see they're south there, and they're very warm. They're warming up into the mid up or the upper 70s and pushing the low 80s now. With sunshine, it's destabilizing the atmosphere as the low pressure that's coming out of the Rockies charges east and northeastward. You can see the arrows with the wind are southwest out ahead of it, pumping in warm, moist air. Then they go to where I'm at out of the northeast, and the mid-levels, changing the wind with, they're getting shear. They're getting changing of the wind direction with height, right? That can give supercell thunderstorms, especially down here in the warm sector. And as the cold front moves through in the dry line, the warm, moist surface temperature is going to mix with the cold upper levels, the 500 millibar temperatures that are much, much colder up there. And when you have cold air up there at 500 millibars and warm, moist, sticky, humid air at the surface to 2 meter temperatures, that's perfect recipe for severe weather. So there's going to be a big severe weather outbreak down here. I think it's going to be just south of the Bloomington area. We're just going to get heavy rain, lots of nice thunder, some lightning, but brief wind gusts to 30, 40 miles an hour. But the 1-inch hail, possible tornadoes would be down here. And we can already see if we zoom in. We got a supercell right here. Let's see if we can see anything on here. I need to go to the, what radar am I on? Get up here. Classic. Let's go to the high def. Sometimes the high def's better. I don't see any hail anywhere yet right now. Usually when you get that magenta color down there, you got hail. I don't see any. The classic radar, though, I still seem to like better with the storms, even though it's got more ground clutter. I don't see any hail in there. Let's see if we see any rotation. You can see there's rotation, but there's no tornado in there yet. But now, if you're going to have severe weather and you got, like where I'm at, the ground level is sort of unstable. But it's not really. So I'm not worried about it here. I think we're going to dodge most of the fun stuff, as I like to call it. Let's put the lightning on. We need to get that shit off. Not the lightning. The lightning's badass, but we need to get where the fuck those pictures are. Photos. Get the fucking photos off. The photos would be cool in the snow. There we go. We got the watches. We got up here, flood warning. Low level wind shear. See, remember that wind shear we were talking about? Changing of the winds with heights. That's what they're discussing here. Convective summary. Because that's what the kind of setup you have, that makes it favorable for tornadoes. That's why I reminded you of the tornado this morning. And I know I got a big audience out here. So we're going to keep an update on this today because this is a fluent situation. And now with the max heating starting to get going, it's approaching the 11 o'clock and noon hour Eastern, 2, 3 o'clock, especially these areas south of that warm front, all in here. You can see where they got it in yellow. And then, like I said earlier, this is the main area today, the moderate risk for severe weather in Oklahoma, Panhandle of Texas, southern Missouri, southern Nebraska, and Arkansas, like we mentioned this morning in our update. I would be very concerned as this storm charges northeast, this low pressure charges east-northeast, and this cold front swoops southeast. It's going to put a dry line there. Perfect mixing with cold, very cold upper levels at the 500 millibar level, and very warm and humid and sticky and muggy in the low levels. And that's a perfect recipe for thunderstorms and severe weather and tornadoes, because you got a high pressure off to the east, which you're counterclockwise, so it puts an east-northeast wind in the mid-levels. In the low levels, you got southwest winds pumping, or southeast winds pumping out of the Gulf of Mexico, putting in low-level winds and warm, moist air. And then as this dry line moves through with the storm front from the northwest to the southeast, in the upper levels, you're going to have winds coming out of the northwest. So you got that already spinning of the clouds. You'll notice it outside. If you're in any of these storms here or here, you'll notice the high-level clouds are shearing fast one way and the low-level clouds are going opposite way, right? And that's what's going to go on today. I'm very concerned about a big tornado outbreak, especially in Oklahoma, southeast Oklahoma, north central and northeast Texas, northwest Arkansas, and southeast and central and southwest Missouri. Very concerned about severe weather. Mid-afternoon, it's already starting here, but the max heating of the day is going to be when the storms start firing up from southwest to northeast, and you're going to get a further north, more of a line of storms, a bow echo maybe, but farther south, right here where the tornadoes are going to go, you're going to get big supercells, pumping up. You already got one here, supercell. It's got a little bit of rotation. That's why this radar is putting in these little signatures there, and we'll let it run. You can see it kind of with a little rotation. See that? They're kind of spinning. Very concerned about a big severe weather outbreak, right? Very concerned. You got some new storms firing up right here into the moderate risk of severe weather because the heating of the day. I will keep you up to date. And we're going to keep you on top of this to keep you guys safe, my beautiful listeners and viewing audience. Now, real quick, Quant, my man, I got to get this out to you because it pulled out. Remember yesterday we drew that yellow scenario? And we said that's the least likely scenario. But if it did that, it would be a great time to sell because it's going to come back down. And that's what you wanted to do. You could sell it now, or if it breaks back below key resistance, you could, because I think eventually you're going to come touch $36, right? So that was a great move for that. And ADA, my man, that's original OG, and he texts a lot, donates a lot. He supports the channel. Yes, there is a chance you can come down back to 75 cents. You kind of got a ram's head forming there, or, like the ram symbol. You could try to pump up here for a phenomenal, fabulous mid-double top at major overhead resistance, and then you would come down. But it's looking like you might get rejected off of here, and not because there's no volume. And if you're going to break this major overhead resistance, you got to have volume to break up here. There's a chance you could, but I would pay attention to see if you just start trading down this weekend or early next week. Like, subscribe, and share. Severe weather updates to come.